Hi, this is Marcel of Marcel on Tech, and today I am talking to you about the latest flagship from Xiaomi, which is of course the Xiaomi 14 Ultra. This is an absolute powerhouse, but it's not perfect, but it is pretty impressive. So let's quickly get into talking about whether this is your next phone. So this is the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, and what I've got here is the faux leather back with the white glow, which is really, really nice. I actually got this second-hand from Amazon, so I got it for a slightly better price than the retail price, which is very, very high. Here we're talking about a 1,200 euro device, but I managed to get it for just under 1,000 from Amazon Warehouse. I would highly recommend you do that when, even with these flagships that are now not brand new release, they've been out for about a month, you can get much better deals on them. And inside the box, I'm not gonna do a full unboxing because it's all been done before, but what you do get is a 90-watt charger. Massive bonus. Obviously you get USB-A port there, but it is USB Type-C that connects into the phone itself, of course. But with that, you do have the advantage of fast charging, which we'll get to. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the design. So first and foremost, take a look at that camera bump. It's massive. It really is. It's difficult to get perspective. I'm going to show you as close as I can, but it is a massive camera bump. Probably takes up at least 1/3 of the rear back end side. And then of course you've actually got a lift away from the actual chassis of the body where it's almost doubled up and becomes thicker than, let's say for example, an iPhone 15 Pro. So from the screen to the widest part of the actual camera, it is very, very thick and significant. You will feel that in your pocket. You will see it when you when you put a case on it, like I have. So it is significant. But of course, with that enormous camera bump, you also get some of the best cameras in the industry. Now, carrying on with the design, working our way around, they've actually got this kind of chamfered material, which is supposed to be extremely tough metal. I haven't incurred any scratches whatsoever. I only put the case on after about a week of having it. I had it for a week beforehand, and I've been very, very pleased with it. It doesn't show any scratches very easily. It's good and grippy. The faux leather, I love faux leather. I think it's a really good idea to put it onto the back of phones because it does make them super duper grippy, and of course, zero fingerprints. Walking around the design, funnily enough, on the right side, we've got the volume rocker and we've got the power button. It's not a fingerprint sensor. The fingerprint sensor is on the screen, but the power button is actually nice and grippy, and it actually has a different texture to the volume rocker, which is just a genius, simple idea, and I really like it when companies do that, so that's really, really good. Then, of course, going around, we've obviously got the antenna grills, we've got a speaker on the top, and we have a speaker on the bottom. On the bottom, we also have USB Type-C, and of course, the dual SIM card tray, which is quite handy actually, very, very good. And of course, the main event, aside from the massive camera bump, is this gorgeous LTPO screen, which is 6.7. It's very comfortable in the hand. I have to say, this is a very comfortable phone to have in the hand because it's still got the candy bar shape. It's a little narrower than my usual Samsung Galaxy Note, and that's a little wider. I still love that phone, but this one has a certain comfort value, and also the screen is fantastic. It really is premium quality screen. Where I found that it suffered, because I live in a very bright country in Spain, I found that when it pushes it up to its maximum nits or maximum brightness, it actually washes out the colors, which is a bit of a shame. What I found that other phones do in order to max out is they highly saturate the apps and the images to make it even clearer to see. This can go very, very bright. It goes over 2000 nits, but what that translates to is basically it washes out the colors in order to make them more visual and to make it as bright as possible, which is not necessarily the best way, I thought, in order to demonstrate the brightness of the screen. But nonetheless, any other time, It's really, really vibrant, very, very nice. And it can go very, very dim as well. But of course, as you can imagine with LTPO, which basically means the refresh rate goes from 0 all the way up to, or from 1 all the way up to 120, is super duper smooth. Transitioning between apps and gaming as well is very, very smooth, which we'll get into as well. The overall design, I do like. It only comes in white and black, which is fine. And the faux leather is a really nice touch. But the camera bump really does take a little bit of adjusting because it is significant. So moving on to the cameras. Now, here's an interesting thing. A lot of people have commented on this. You can probably hear that there is a rattle inside the camera, and that is because this is optically stabilized. So what that means is that you've then got moving parts which only become engaged by the electromagnets after you activate the camera app. Any other time, it's not active, and therefore it makes that rattling sound. It doesn't mean anything's broken. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with it. It just means the moving parts that usually become engaged when the camera app is on are deactivated. So obviously there are moving parts inside there that can move. I believe it's the periscope lens that is moving backwards and forwards as well. And so every single one of these lenses is stabilized really, really well. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to include some footage of me filming both from the front and the rear, and it is impressive. So going on to those cameras, 50 megapixel lenses all the way around, main lens, wide, ultra wide. You've got macro mode that is just unreal, really, really good. You've got 8K recording, obviously 4K as well. And the stabilization, even on the 8K, is incredibly good. You can see the detail in the 8K. For example, I took video of myself. It's almost unflattering because it's so clear. So I was really impressed with the 8K recording on this device. The stabilization was really good, and it is absolutely solid. So this is the front-facing camera on the Xiaomi 14 Ultra. It looks to me like it's pretty well stabilized, which is very, very good. It's extremely bright as it's early morning here. Picture quality looks pretty good. Let's see what it looks like on the rear main cameras. Okay, this is the rear facing camera now. And we're just going to change the lighting a little bit. You should be able to see good level of stability. We're filming in 4K here. We might ramp it up to 8K and see what the difference is. We get some movement, stabilization, and of course audio. Let's see what it looks like. So on this very impressive device, we also have 8K recording, which is very cool. We're at 30 FPS. You tell me if the stability or video quality has changed in any way, and hopefully you'll see from this incredible phone that it really can process the most amazing video and photos as well. As you can imagine, from a gaming and performance standpoint, this is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which has all the integrations of AI, etc. But in terms of performance, it is an absolute powerhouse. I've had 0 failure rates with this in terms of app opening, crashes, anything like that, stutter. Even taking the pictures are very, very quick. Which has been brilliant. So I have been very impressed. You won't have any problems with this. This is obviously the current generation flagship chip. With regards to gaming, I've done a little bit of gaming. I'm not a huge mobile gamer, if I'm honest. I do get my son to test these out, but everything I've thrown at it, from Genshin to Asphalt 9, is absolutely brilliant. Really easy to see, really, really fluid and quick. Great audio as well. It hasn't got the loudest speakers. I did find that actually on some of the Samsungs, they were a little bit better, and on the OnePlus, it was a little bit better as well. Obviously, we're talking about slightly different phones there. So coming back to the battery life has been solid. I can get through a whole day of heavy use, 5G connection, Wi-Fi connection, using the camera, making filming, taking photos all day long, and I'll probably end the day on around 20%. And because it does have wireless charging, of course, that can be just dropped onto my wireless charger, or if I do plug it in, then it will charge it up in under an hour very, very easily. So this has been fantastic. I love that this comes in the box, unlike some other manufacturers who are taking them out. Xiaomi continues to provide very good quality charging units for the phones, which of course makes them charge up super quick, and it changes the way you charge them as well, because you can plug it in, 30 minutes later you've got a full charge for probably a day and a half. So really, really good. Obviously it's a 5,000 milliamp hour battery as well, but basically that means it'll last you at least through the day. So software experience, here we are using the Hyper OS from Xiaomi, which is based on Android 14, which is of course the latest operating system. HyperOS is a bit of a change from their previous operating system, and the reason is actually quite good. Similarly to Honor, what they have started to do is have this ecosystem, and what HyperOS is aiming to do is that if you have a tablet from Xiaomi, if you have a laptop from Xiaomi, you can link all these things in. So fundamentally, all the basics are there. There's a little bit of bloatware when you get it, but all of them are deletable. But the key thing that's different about HyperOS, like Samsung, like Honor, there is now the encouragement of, and like Apple of course, the encouragement of the ecosystem. And the way they've made it is very, very similar to Honor in that you can find it in a bubble. So if you've got a laptop, you've got a tablet, you can find each device inside the bubble using the software, and you can share information incredibly easily. Photos, videos, contacts can be literally, even screen sharing is all done on the phone or on the device that you're switching over to. And it just allows for a lot more fluidity inside an ecosystem. In terms of using it independently, again, I've had zero problems with the software. I really like it. It's a little bit gamified because it's a kind of Chinese system, but you can obviously modify because there are themes and the theme shop, and it works very, very well and can change the whole outlook of your phone if you choose to. Wallpapers, of course, as well, come across and are displayed incredibly nicely as well. Now, because this is practically a professional grade camera, it actually comes with a camera kit. But I didn't buy it. I wasn't able to acquire it through Amazon. I think you have to buy it direct. I have heard reports that unless you're a pro photographer or pro mobile phone photographer, it's not really worth getting the extra grip that you can hold on to with a spare camera rim and protector. But it does work really, really well. And the photos you can get from this really are very impressive. Do you need the kit? No, you don't. But if you wanted to have it as an additional battery pack, because it does charge wirelessly, which is clever, and you can hold it like a professional camera, then it might be something you want to get, but you can certainly live without it by all means. Does this compare to the S24 Ultra? Well, if you want to find that out, please do hit that subscribe button and put a comment below. I'd love to know if you'd like a direct comparison between the two. This by far has some of the best cameras on the industry, and now Honor and Xiaomi are seriously putting pressure on companies like Samsung to really up their game, because the zoom capacity on this is ridiculous. This has 120x zoom. So you can get wide angle lens at 0.06, and then it goes all the way into 120 zoom, which is just nuts and a little bit creepy because the quality of the zoom is almost a bit scary. So really, really good. And I know that the Galaxy S24 Ultra, which I haven't yet reviewed, also has incredible zoom as well. So in finale, talking about the price, is it relatively good value for money based on the competition? Then yes, because if you can get a deal, which I'll put a link to below, of course, like this, where you're saving 200-300 euros on a basically brand new device, just been opened, then you're obviously getting a bargain, and this thing's going to last you 3 to 4 years minimum with the OS support that you're going to get as well. It will be cheaper than the likes of Samsung, who do charge more of a premium for their products, and it's going to be as good, as powerful, with of course slightly different operating system, but equally as strong battery life and equally as strong cameras as well, which are really impressive. And of course you've got the Leica branding, which does allow for certain tints, certain filters, certain functioning as well. So it is a very, very capable device, and if you can get it at a better price than the original retail value, you're definitely onto a winner. Now, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Appreciate all the likes, comments, and the subscriptions. Thank you so much. I'm very much looking forward to making my next video. Hope you got some value out of that as well, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. See you then. Bye-bye for now.